Hey guys, welcome in this video. I hope that all of you are doing great. In this video, what we're going to talk about is how to make more money, not just in trading, but in life in general. So I'm going to give you guys some tips and some things that you can work on to actually improve your financial situation, and also share with you guys some things I did along the way in my journey to actually make more money and keep more money as well. So I'm really excited to talk about this. So just before that we start, don't forget to leave a like under the video. I would really appreciate it, and make sure as well that you are subscribed to the channel if it's not already done. So how to make more money? What is really the most important thing? Now we're going to use a really classic example of someone who just works at a job, who makes, a decent salary, right? But nothing crazy. We'll do some numbers and then we will see what this person could do to actually improve their situation. So you will see that it's all about doing the math. It's all about, knowing your numbers. That's very, very important. A lot of people nowadays don't even know their numbers. They don't know exactly how much they're going to make in a year with their, let's say, stable income. They don't really know what are their expenses. They don't really know how much they have or how much they want to make in their investment and stuff like that, right? So it's really about knowing your numbers. And so today, this is what we will work on a bit with you guys. So first of all, right? Someone here in Canada will make on average $40,000 to $50,000. That's really the average income per person here of someone who just works a normal job. So let's just say 50,000. That's even higher, right, than the average a bit. But let's just go with this as an example. So let's say someone makes $50,000. Now the first thing that they will have to consider is how much taxes that they will pay on this, right? Now, again, it depends, on their situation. It depends on what they do for a living and stuff like that. But let's just say on average, someone who makes $50,000 will have to pay, around 30% of taxes. So that would be $15,000. So after that, they will be left with 35 grand. All right. Now, of course, the second other big expense, it's everything related to just living, right? So renting an apartment or paying for a house, food, transportation, and any other little expenses on the side, right? And so on average here in Canada, I think that, with 20K, someone could, live pretty decently and have a good quality of life. So we take this 35 grand, we minus that by 20K at least, right? And then the person at the end is left with something around $10,000 to $15,000, right? So that's after 1 year of work. Now, as you guys can see, 10 to 15 grand after 1 year. It's fine, right, for most people, but it's not really how you're going to build wealth, and it's not really how you're going to make a lot of money, right? Because even if you do this, for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, well, at the end, you'll have some money, but you'll not be really rich, right? Especially after working for so long. And that's considering that the person is living just for herself, right? But if the person has, let's say, 1 or 2 kids, well, already the money that will be left after the 1 year of work will be a lot less than this, right? And so now the question is, what can we work on between these 3 things that I mentioned in order to actually improve the situation, right? So we basically have the initial outcome, we have the taxes, and we have expenses, right? So can we work on expenses to, have and to make more money? Well, not really, because at the end of the day, right, the goal in life is to make more money, and it's to get a better lifestyle, right? It's to get a better situation. So you don't want to lower your expenses too much, because it's going to decrease the quality of your life, right? Of course, you can lower your expenses, in some different little ways, but it's not really what will change, everything, right? Like whether you pay, $1,000 per month, let's say for, your house, or whether you pay $900 or $800, it doesn't make a big difference, at the end, and it's not really what truly matters. So I would say, don't try to lower too much your expenses. Of course, there are some people who pay a lot for stuff they don't need. So that's a different talk, right? It's not the same thing. But let's say that you just have a very, normal lifestyle, you don't pay too much for anything, then I would say that there's really nothing much that you can do with this. Then taxes. Same thing, right? If you want to stay ethical, if you want to do things the right way, well, there's not much that you can do. Of course, you might be able to save a bit more here and there with someone who knows how to do this, right? But overall, it's not going to change that much neither. So what we're left with is simply the income. And so that's what you need to focus on if you want to make a lot more money. You need to focus on simply getting more money in, having more cash flow, all right? It's really, really important for you guys to understand that it's easier to make more money than trying to save as much as you can from a little source of income. All right. So let's say someone who makes $50,000. Well, the person will be able to live, but as we just saw, right, it will be hard to build wealth on the long term. Now, someone who makes 100,000, right, so double that, it will be already much easier to build wealth and to really make a lot of money on the long term, simply because they have a lot more money coming in every week, every month, every year. And that in itself will make a massive difference. So you need to work on the income. So first of all, right, let's say, again, we take the situation of the average person. They have a job and they use that job to pay for expensive and stuff like that, right? So the first thing that you can do is try to become the best at your current job, all right? A lot of people forget about this, but if you work in a private company, right, well, you will be paid in relationship to what you can, do for the business, right? So if you become an amazing employee, right, if you really are productive, if you get more done than what your boss would expect, for example, then you would be in a good situation to ask for a raise, and you will have arguments for that, right? If the person doesn't want to pay you more, then you can just go to another business who will be willing to pay you more for the work that you do, right? So you have to become really good, first of all, at what you are already doing. And then the other aspect of that is to get other source of income, right? You need to get more cash flow in. It doesn't mean that you need to quit your job. Again, as I just said, right, you could stick to your job, you could become the best at it, but you need to find other source of income. You could start a business on the side. You could, save money and then invest that money. This will already give you some more room to play with. Or what I believe is the best is to learn a high income skill that is rare. You need to understand that in our society, money goes toward the people who know how to do something that is rare. So it's really, really important to understand that, all right? So it's all about, having a skill that not a lot of people can do, right? And so, for example, trading is really, what I chose personally, right? To go about this, right? And it's really, I think, one of the best, simply because, well, ask yourself the question, right? How many people can actually manage a big portfolio and do this successfully year after year after year and get a lot of consistency, right? Well, the answer is not a lot of people, right? And so if you can find something like that where it's hard to become good at something, well, that's what you should be focusing on as well, because if you become good at this, then not a lot of people are good at this, so you can make a lot of money, right? It's the same thing with sport, for example, right? How many people, can play basketball at a very high professional level and be extremely good at it? Well, not a lot of people, which is why athletes in general make a lot of money, right? So it's all about finding something that is highly valued in today's society and that not a lot of people can do, and then becoming good at this, right? And so if you are able to do this, well, at some point, maybe that this skill will be able to replace even your job, right? Maybe that you're going to make a lot of money with this, but the goal is to really focus on the income part of it. And that was really the lesson I wanted to share with you guys, because a lot of people I see are focused on trying to save a bit of money here and there on the side with their expensive and stuff like that. And they spend so much time, trying to lower a bit their cost of living, and it works, right, most of the time, but it doesn't make any difference, guys. You need to realize this. It's not what will make the difference, right? Whether you pay in total, let's say 1.5K to live, or 1.6 or 1.7, right? Like, these numbers, the difference between them are just too small. So what you have to focus on is simply making more money. If you make $50,000, well, already if you would make $70,000, so 20K more per year, this will make all the difference, right? It's going to change everything. And if you can just do this every single year and over time you make more and more and more, this is really how you can build wealth. So that's what I wanted to explain you guys, because I see a lot of people not understanding this and making this mistake. And I wanted to share with you guys this tip. So focus on your income first. Of course, you can also focus on lowering your expenses, right? Don't get me wrong, but the income part is by far the most important thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that this gives you some ideas as well on what you can do to make more money. If you like it, don't forget to leave a like. You can also share it around. And on that, take care, trade with care, manage your money well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.